when it's just for the fun of it, but you set it low and they're like, oh, it only cost me $1 to say this funny thing.
Yeah. Hello, Boss Froggy. We're about to do some cop watching at a cop shop. And I'm testing this out and getting all people's in here before we do.
Cop shop!
Texas Tough, hey, how you doing?
What's up, Texas Tough?
As soon as I see somebody I know, I'll have them send me $1 in PayPal and I'll send them back $2 or something. It's constitutional, the pillars.
Yeah, I can do it.
Here, let me take.
I can do it.
Let me fix this real quick. You can do it?
Yeah.
Oh, word. Okay.
I can donate to test it.
Oh, I can just give you cash.
No. I'll just donate to test it.
All right, we're up.
Once I'm not.
Swine repellent.
Swine repellent's in here?
He's here.
Make him donate to
He goes,
test it.
How is my favorite beard?
It's messy. I need some hair gel.
You can see, cool.
I need a haircut, some hair gel, and a brush for my beard, and a hair straightener for my beard. I'm looking rough today, I'll tell you that.
So yeah, we're going on our way to a sheriff's department, and I'm gonna go do my thing, and Freeman's gonna play like safety. He's gonna be the backup safety.
Yep, I'm backup camera girl today.
Yep.
I'm the Buck G.
Yep.
Buck G, backup camera girl.
Freeman has abandoned his traditional Arabian garb. We are now back in the Western world.
Yep. For now.
For now.
We'll put the garb back on for court tomorrow.
Right, for now.
Nah, just kidding.
Hi, just Michelle. Yeah, Freeman's here. Yep. He's co-pilot. I'm kind of navigating right now. Something like that.
Yep. I'm the Buck G.
Yep. So you're about to see me do some cop watchery real soon. I'm excited. It's been a while. It's been since Leon Valley. What was that? Late June. It's now early August. It's been like 5-6 weeks. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
5 or 6 weeks?
5 or 6 weeks.
We got 64.
Yeah, Mr. Anakin's in here. 68.
We'll be at the cop shop in about 7 minutes.
About 7 minutes. Oh, and check it out.
Till deployment.
See this speaker? Oh, we got $1 text to chat. So if you want to tell a sheriff something, you'll be able to do that. This is the first time I've ever done it. We're gonna see what happens. Oh, just so you know, a lot of people are like, oh man, hey, I don't know how to quote-unquote audit or point cameras at people, so teach me, how do I do it? This is gonna... Now, swine repellent, I told you, I don't do coke. I've never done coke. No more coke talk, thanks. This whole... Oh, Black Label Cop Watch, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Black Label?
I'm gonna do it in a way that's like super professional and borderline friendly.
Tutorial style.
Yeah, tutorial style. If they get aggressive whatsoever, I don't know how exactly I'm gonna play it. I'm not gonna risk arrest, that's for sure. But I'm most likely gonna kind of back down, retreat really with style, retreat with style, attack to the south, just so that people see that can be done. Like under no circumstance am I gonna just get in over my head and now you get in trouble and there's nothing you can do about it. No. Alright, so I'm not bringing any ID on me because you're not required to. Okay, you're not required to have ID on you to walk down the public sidewalk, alright?
And by the way, I'll look up the Arizona failure to ID law again. I had it, but I'll look it up again. It's very similar to Texas 3802. You have to be arrested to be required to ID in Arizona as well. Right. So before we go in even,
you have to be arrested in order to be required to...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I'll read the exact statute. Once we're stopped in 6 minutes, I'll pull it up, I'll read the exact statute.
Cool.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think the biggest thing is a lot of auditors go out and they're like, well, I don't want to ID, of course. I want to invoke my Fourth Amendment right to be free from searches and seizures. And But obviously, if you guys haven't learned yet, the Constitution doesn't matter. It's essentially toilet paper to these people. And so your Fourth Amendment doesn't exist, all right? It does not exist. So it's a matter of what the legislation is. And so, you know, if you're trying to fight the legislation, then
you won't catch me doing that.
Yeah, if that's your goal, then at least know what the legislation is.
Yeah.
Go in with a certain plan that, okay, I am going to deliberately disobey this legislation with the intent to fight it in court later and get a court ruling on it to change it. But if that's not your intent, then know the legislation and obey it.
Yeah, 100%.
Not because it's the right thing, but because it's the thing that will make you not go to jail.
Yeah, it helps. Having that knowledge keeps you safe. Now, you all are going to see me doing something that is probably pretty non-standard or common. I'm never going to... If I ever mention once anything about a right, an amendment, a statute, a code, or any kind of rules that they're supposed to obey, give me hell about it. I'm just telling y'all right now, I'm going to go in there with nothing but logic, ethics, and actual reality. And see how it goes. Just to see how it goes. Not because it's the best way, but just to see how it goes, like experiment-wise, all right?
I like that approach because if you haven't realized yet, all the legislation, even the Constitution, it's got they've all got things in there that's like, wait a second. That's not...
Wait a second, right?
That's not logical or ethical or...
Right. So to me, it's all about... applying public and political pressure. Let me get to the comments here. Homeschool Granny says, do you do over-the-shoulder routine to film during an encounter? Let me translate that. Do you put the camera over your shoulder when the cop approaches you? Yes, Homeschool Granny, I'm going to.
Why? Explain why. A lot of people don't know why you do
The reason why I do is because if your back is to them, under no circumstance can you be seen as threatening or threatening a cop or being in any way suspicious, and you're holding them accountable. If they are going to attack you, they're going to do it from behind. They have zero reason, and so it makes them not want to. You're obviously not being confrontational. They're the ones obviously bringing it to you, and again, it's all for the jury. Everything I do will be as if a jury is watching. So you guys are going to see this.
It's the same thing with open carrying. A lot of guys will recommend it to stay way on the right side of the line. Open carry with the rifle on your back.
Right.
Because a lot of times they'll try to use this, well, you were carrying in a manner calculated to cause alarm.
Right,
if your firearm needs to be pulled around from behind you, cocked, and that's a lot of work. If you've got it on your back, you're a mile away from any kind of bogus charge about carrying in a way calculated to cause alarm.
Yeah, it's just the ability.
Not that you have to carry on your back either. You can legally and lawfully carry on your front. We're talking about avoiding the exaggerated BS that they're going to bring up.
So yeah, it's all about creating an environment where it's apparent to everyone, even them, that you're top dog when it comes to being effective in applying public and political pressure. And the tactics James are talking about are exactly that. I'm not going to be armed, so we're not going to have any guns or bullets here. Let's see. Oh shit, dude.
What's going on?
I don't know. It screwed up for a second. Okay, we're still good. We're still good.
Oh,
it scrolled me all the way.
Oh, dude, that's a pain to deal with, though. That's Streamlabs for you, man.
What? It
Get
does
used
this?
to it.
Really?
Oh, wait. The black screen? No.
Yeah.
Scrolling
I know
all the way
what
down
I
to
did.
the bottom
I know
of
what
the
I
comments.
did. No, it's making me switch the camera even though I don't want to. All right. Trying to get back to the comments here.
Yeah, the comments hopping is... That's something you got to deal with Streamlabs.
Yeah, I skipped a lot of them because we were talking. I'm going to try to get to... Oh, ethics for me. Yep, I'm a C. How are you guys doing? We're doing well. This should be interesting. Yes, it will be. Just Michelle says, I'm excited to see you guys getting back into the cop watching. Heck yeah, so am I. Did I bring donuts? No, I should have. Smash the like button. Thanks, Miss C. How you doing? Black Label. This is going to be funny. Boss X. We're doing well, Mr. Anakin. Swine, you won't teach us anything. I'm moving through comments like 100 miles an hour.
Good. Swine will teach us how to call 911 on ourselves.
Monkey83, what's up, man?
Which we will not do.
Michelle says, Swine, don't be an ass.
Swine is an ass, but that's why we like him. Swine, stick around, keep being an ass. Thank you.
The nice thing is the text-to-speech is set at $1, and I know that Swine doesn't have any money, so I'm not going to have to worry about him being an ass on text-to-speech. So that's good. Kill him with kindness, says Dirty South blocking one time. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, kill him with kindness. The Texas Hammer needs to come down on these tyrants. Yeah, we'll see. You should have me on speaker, says Swine. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Swine, no offense, Swine, but I cater to an audience that doesn't put duct tape pasties on and dance around without their shirt on line. No offense, I love your material, but you know what I mean. Oh, let's see. Right before I go in, I am going to tell you where I'm at. and you'll be able to have a number in case anything gets crazy. If anything should get crazy, do not call them and harass them. Anybody who calls them and does anything negative, like harassing, yelling, swearing, you're not having anything to do with anything of mine, because I'm telling you not to harass them. That's what causes people to get criminal charges like what Bao and James is facing, and that's what we think our opponents are doing on our streams. So if you are going to call Flood, or just call them, then make it professional and polite, and just so that you're aware. Effective.
Hey, guy, hey, the whole world is watching, and you just detained some guys for participating in a perfectly legal, lawful activity. Just want you to know the world is watching you, and we're not pleased, and I just took the wrong turn, so.
That's okay, you'll get us there.
Yep.
In 800 feet, turn left onto West Campus Parkway.
Dang it. Oh, Freedom from Tyranny says you guys should need to work on a camera mount that chains to your body so the cops can't get it off and can't turn it off easily. No thanks, because that would look funny, and I'm in the court of public opinion, and the public are a bunch of sheep, and they don't want to be intimidated or scared by someone with something chained to them. It looks a little bit extreme, but I do get the idea. That's just not this scenario.
If they're gonna take your camera or your firearm or whatever they're gonna take,
they're gonna take it.
They're gonna take it.
There's not a whole lot
it is
you
fun.
can do
I've
about
seen
it.
like Slacker, Southside Slacker chain when they chained the rifle to him. I love it. I love that idea.
You are retreating if you are walking away. Yeah, I might just quote unquote retreat. You know why? Because I'm going to show everybody how this isn't as dangerous as a lot of people think it is, in the hopes that they'll get out and do it. I'm going to do this as a newbie. I'm going to do it incrementally from like step 1 to step 10, and I'm going to, if they allow, I'll move up. If they don't, I'll move back.
Guys, I think the biggest thing is that I think a lot of people come out and they don't even know what they can or can't do, or should or shouldn't do. They don't have any idea. They don't have any idea what's right and wrong, nor do they have any idea what the government thinks is right and wrong.
Right.
And so, if you get into
we're going too far. You can't enter there, and I don't know about going. You got to go this way or something.
We can go through here.
Yeah, cool. Go.
This is to Ina Road. Yeah, this is through, and this goes to public.
Yeah. I just don't want to. I don't want to do anything that causes attention to us just quite yet.
No, this is like a through street.
Yeah, cool.
To, but if you don't know, it's okay to back away. I mean, it's praiseworthy people I've seen. Like, for example, let me tell you. For example, Southwest auditing Yuma or something like that. Took his daughter and went and filmed a port of entry. And when they started getting crazy and threatening him, he just left. He could be there legally. He could be there lawfully.
Yeah.
But when they started threatening him, he just walked away and left.
Nice,
that is not cowardly. That is smart, especially when he's with his 15-year-old daughter. You know? So,
cool.
The whole, oh, you didn't do it right. You're a pussy because you walked away. You know what? Live to fight another day, and especially if you don't know for sure.
True. Mrs. Freeman is with us. Cool. Hey, my little Woody, what's up?
So yeah, this.
Thanks, Rika, putting in the stream. Now, I don't know how to push the test. Oh, that's right. James is going to do it here. We're going to sit here tight. I just want to test it to see if the text-to-speech is going to work before I go to the trouble of dragging the speaker in there.
This is a small shop, but this is a cool spot too, though, because we can film over the wall.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, if anything goes sideways, just so you know, I'm not going to come back to this car. I'm going to go walking off the property like my car's somewhere else, and then call you.
All right.
I'll get to somewhere where I'm sure they haven't tailed me, and then we'll coordinate from there. Because I don't want them to even see the car or anything like that.
All right. So there was 2 things I need to do. One is go and donate and make sure text-to-speech is working.
Yeah.
And the other is look up and read the Arizona...
This thing is pissing me off.
Failure to ID law.
If you push it wrong and it doesn't like it, it makes you do things you didn't want to do. It's frustrating. It's buffering a lot? Oh, because we're driving. Buff. Back. Yeah, that was probably me. Dude, every time it buffers, I just lost half the subs. Half the watchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, driving with this thing isn't a good idea. It just buffers a lot. And we're in downtown. I've got 4 out of 5 bars of signal. It shouldn't be happening. I'm at 480p with 24 frames per second and 1,000 kilobytes per second. We're just waiting for, we're going to get a text-to-speech to come in to see if it'll work. Let's flip this off for a second. kind of want to.
Is it supposed to be set to $1? We're gonna try $2 and see if it reads.
The last I saw it was $1, but yeah, I'll just give it to you anyway. It's all good. How's the stream looking now? Sixth State Auditor, how you doing, man? I'm lurking from work. Lisa, Dusted 69. We're all back. We're well back. Everyone says we're back. Cool. Better. Sorry for the lack of video. I just don't want them, if anyone's watching, to know precisely where we are. I'm also, okay, so I'm just going to get in tutorial mode. Okay, I'm going to start saying a lot of what's going through my head. Not all of it, but a lot of considerations when I do this. So I've already Google mapped this whole area and memorized it. So I've got in my head already exactly what's going on where. It's not a mystery to me. Second of all, I've had my eyes everywhere. I got my head on a swivel. I want to be situationally aware of anything that's going on. People coordinated, people coming out, people talking, people looking, people pointing, anything like that. Anybody giving us any attention that doesn't make any sense. I'm looking at the weather. You know, am I going to get rained on? Because I've got electronics, right? Obviously, my batteries are charged. Everything's good to go that way. Do not be caught out here with dead batteries. That's just, gosh, if somebody's ever like, oh, my battery, sorry. Hey, you see all this stuff? I'm putting this in the glove compartment here. Okay, cool. So I don't have any ID on me. All right, I don't like to carry ID. You don't have to carry ID. Good grief. There's no reason to. I have some change on me. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna put that there. So I don't really have anything in my pockets. I certainly don't have any weapons. Okay?
I will say this though. I think that the only reason that I actually got arrested and taken to the jail at Fort Huachuca is because I had no ID on me.
Oh, wow.
I think that they intended to put cuffs on me, illegally identify me, and then just let me go. Because they would have checked me out, seen that I don't have
any warrants.
No criminal history, nothing like that, or no real criminal history, other than traffic tickets. And they would have, I 100% believe they would have let me go. It was the fact that I didn't have ID on me, and they didn't ask me. Once they detained me, I would have given them my ID, but they didn't ask me. So I just to let you know, I think that that's why.
Yes, metal shell. I also have clean underwear. Good pointer. Good pointer.
I don't.
You don't? What a shame.
No.
That's not that bad.
I'm just kidding. I'm wearing yours.
Rip.
Weird.
Was there more rip? There was more ripping. Alright. So we're here and I'm about to head in.
Alright, I'm submitting the
ethics plan for the worst, hope for the best. Absolutely.
Oh,
hit the like button. Z Peppers. James hasn't gone to court yet. Timothy Swaney, that's tomorrow. As soon as I get this test thing come in, I'm going to head on in, and we're going to see what happens. Should I be shocked I'm not even nervous in the slightest?
No.
Good grief.
I mean,
see,
you gotta
people,
be
like,
aware.
I'm not nervous in the slightest.
You got to be aware of anything that could happen or whatever, but if you're nervous, then you're going to have a bad interaction, I think.
Well,
people can read energies.
Well, okay, so some people might always carry a little bit of nervousness. Some people might not carry it. It could be. Did that come through?
Bummer.
Ripper.
Yeah, you got the notification, but it didn't read out.
I'm gonna edit stream info here. Hold on.
It made noise, but it didn't read out.
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff. Okay, whatever. Okay.
Let me see.
What's the button? Is it the bell?
The bell? Yeah, hit the bell, and then hit
the recycle. No, not that one. This
Whoops.
one. Nope. Testing Streamlabs TTS. Oink oink piggy piggy. Nope. Okay, so it's not spitting it out, so I'm not going to bring it with.
It's probably a $5 minimum to read it out, because that's what Streamlabs, I think, automatically sets it at.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So just so you guys know, I mean, we'll lower it later, right?
Yeah,
when we get to the computer. But so you know, for now, it's probably a $5 minimum to have it actually read out.
Yeah, I'll figure it all out later when I get back to my laptop. So not a problem. This is just be a test. Just a test. It's the first time I've ever used Streamlabs while I'm doing this. I also have a 4K camera. It's going to be recording in 1080p actually with 60 frames per second. Just as a backup in case this buffers or, you know, gets sloppy, I'll always be able to upload that. Alright, so now that I know that, I'm about to head in. Do you, any last things, James? I'm about to get out of here.
Nope. We'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, cool.
You going to the inside?
So, yeah.
I'm going to stay on the outside.
Cool. I'm going to try to pay attention to the chat, but God knows I'm probably not going to do a great job because I'm super aware of my surroundings, right? And my goal is to just go in there and just simply record publicly accessible areas. I'm probably going to go inside first and make contact if approached. That's better than probably, at least for this first one, if you're new. You don't just want to, because I see a lot of sheriff cars in a lot that's protected, but I could just stick my camera over and get all their license plates and whatnot. That's kind of a first impression that's a bit aggressive. You probably don't want to do that if you're starting out first.
That's the only way I know how to do it.
Right.
It's not necessarily getting license plates, but I see over that wall and I'm like, hey, look at all those police units. Police units are cool. I want to film cool stuff.
Right, and so in the beginning, and I'll pretend like I'm a beginner, because like I said, this is going to be a tutorial. I'm going to go in and make contact, if at all.
You know what? I'm actually going to stick with you, but far enough away that you're the lead guy, so I'm just a backup guy. That way, I'm filming you, filming them.
If you get approached in the slightest, what's their plan? Do you want them to be able to figure out what car you're in? If it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. You don't care? Okay, cool.
It's your vehicle. Know my car.
Yeah, okay. Cool. And just keep in mind, James is obviously at the center of attention of a federal case, and they're very aware of his channel, and his channel is linked to this one, so they could be watching this. So anytime,
they are.
This is the last thing I'll say, and then I'll head out. As a newbie, just assume that the opponents are watching you and act accordingly. You're never going to see me dropping an F-bomb. You're never going to see me being disrespectful, and there's reasons for that, and I'll go into it later. Okay, ready?
Yep.
So you are coming?
Yeah. I'm just going to be your backup, so I'm going to film you.
Do you want to follow from a distance?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll just make sure that I always have you in my sight. That's
all. So my batteries are charged.
But not necessarily with you. I'm not going to associate with you. I'm just going to have you in my sight. A silent cameraman that's filming you doing your thing.
Yep.
That's what really, I think that's what the backup camera should do.
Okay, I'm now recording with my 4K. Thanks, Drone Wolf Media. All right, here we go. So I have, I keep sunglasses on. Not only is it bright out here, but it just helps. And the reason why I'm pointed at the ground is because I don't want to alarm any members of the public, right? I'm 100 yards or whatever away from the front door. I do not want to arouse any suspicion whatsoever. There's no point. Anybody who's coming out here and just wanting to get into bad mojo contact, yeah. To me, that's not a good idea. It's not safe either. Mark Miller, what's up? Cheap sunglasses, LOL. Yeah, I buy cheap sunglasses, admittedly, because I lose them all the time. I break them and whatnot. I used to buy expensive sunglasses and phones, and then I realized, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't want the stress of worrying about, oh my gosh, my new awesome sunglasses. Hey, Regina, don't worry. Yeah, I will be. It's all good. Stephen Mazur, I don't even believe rights exist. A lot of you are going to hear some stuff for the first time ever right now. If I get approached, we'll see. Alright, here we go. One of these was a library, remember? The other one's the sheriff's office, so cool. Let's go see what's going on in here. Oh, cool. Sweet. Just stuff on the wall, stuff on the wall. How does it smell, guys? How does it smell? The sheriff's right there. They require you to ring a bell before you come in. I don't really need to do that right now. Ooh, check this out. Somebody's tossing a jury duty scam. They got notices to the public. That's cool. Media release. County hands-free ordinance. Distracted driving. They have distracted driving pamphlets. Let's see, are all the tags current on their fire extinguishers? Looks like it, yeah. There's bathrooms. I'm not really a bathrooms dude. I don't like carrying cameras inside bathrooms, you know. So here's this. Emergency exit. Cool info. It's in English and Spanish, as you can see. This is all mandated to be on there, or it probably wouldn't be. Lead poisoning. Watch out, lead poisoning. See, and this building is happens to be adjacent to a library, so we're just gonna kind of keep it down. It's gonna be super chill. Hello.
I think we're already at the library over there.
Yeah, pretty much. This is probably all the library stuff. And then I got stuff over here. Okay, so. Okay, cool. Nope. Alright, so now I'm going to make contact. And do that just like this. There it is right there. There must be a camera on this right now. There must be a camera on this right now.
Camera on us?
There must be somewhere, some way.
I only saw the one down the hall.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go film one here, and then I'm gonna go around to where the DMV is at and film the entrance.
Oh, cool. Okay. Come back and do that later. I think I pushed hard enough. We'll see. So I see people in there, but they're not answering. I'm dinging the dinger. I'm not seeing any yet. Hello. Weekends call, business hours. Okay. So I said, hey, waved at him, and he's like, just 1 minute. And so I was like, oh, I give him the okay signal. Yeah, so, Clash with Bow, what's up? Stephen Mazur, says, ethics is right about the need to cater to the court of public opinion too. Without the people on your side, a movement like this, it can't succeed. I don't really care about the movement. I don't care whether the movement succeeds or not. I'm not in here for the movement. The only reason why I do it is because when you act in a way that is favorable to a jury, you have more power, plain and simple, when it comes to your will happening versus theirs. If you act like kind of a maniac and they know that not only will a jury not like you, but it's likely that no lawyer wants to put their reputation on you, then they're going to treat you more harshly. They'll be more likely to come after you with charges and to, abuse you, put all their consequences they want on you. That's why I do it. I do it because of the power. I don't do it because I care about sheeple. It's just the way it is, man. Maybe I'm jaded and grizzled and whatever, but... Oops. But yeah, that's just how I roll. Everybody's got their own reasons, but it's all good. There's just no reason to. There's no reason to curse at the police. And oh, by the way, if you do, like let's say these people ran into a bunch of quote-unquote auditors, right? And those people were just F-bomb this and F-bomb that. And then they see me. Guess what? My job's a lot harder. And it's more risky as well. So why would you do that? Oh, just for YouTube views? No, I'm not here for that either. Some people are, but they make it harder for other people who are trying to at least show that, hey, it's not all that dangerous if you're just chill. These are just human beings as well, more or less. And B, when it comes to, again, being effective, being safe, there is one way and only one best way to go about it, and that's with Socrates. Well, Rika cursed at the police. They ambushed me. I wasn't mentally prepared. See, they came onto your home property, though. Right now, I'm going onto their property. Oh, no, it's public property. It's our property. Whatever. You can call it whatever you want, but they have jurisdiction here in the gun, so it's their property. Like, what they want ultimately to happen will happen, whether I like it or not. But yeah, Rika, I mean, that cop was over trying to cause problems on your property. I don't even care that you swore at him. I thought it was awesome. I'd do the same thing, just for the record. Regina, what's up? What's up? How you doing? I think they might be coming out here now. With a smile. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, Rika, that was an interesting video, that's for sure. That's for sure. So I know they've acknowledged me, and they're like 1 minute, like they'll come out. They're taking their sweet time. They might be calling somebody, hey, we got a guy with a camera here, what do you want us to do, da-da-da-da-da. Who knows? They're going to be in for a pleasant surprise. A pleasant surprise. So we'll see. Yeah, if you all haven't seen Rika's video about what she's talking about, man, get on her channel and look it up. It's really good. And, gosh, I should do a commentary on it. I think I will if I get any time at home. I'm pretty busy here in Tucson, so I may not, but I do want to make a commentary on it. This is a long minute. Yeah, it is Dalton 992. Fox Valley Community Watch. What's going on here is I'm just going around to a bunch of cop shops and making contact and showing them that there's a variety of people who do this from a variety of different perspectives and motivations and styles. And I'm hoping to make them look good. What I'd really like is for them all to look good. Because if they look good, then they're just letting us film the publicly accessible areas, which is all we're asking for. And then we go away. We're like, sweet. They're not being aggressive. They're not threatening. They're not doing any of that. I did it again. Oops. It's when you get psychos like Leon Valley that, everything goes sideways. So, it is what it is. I don't just talk to these people out of the blue. I don't make it up as I go along. I don't improv style with some kind of agenda. All I do is I just go off of what they say. Yeah, I have kind of some questions and directions and maybe some comments, but
I don't have anything pre-planned, and most all of what I say is just in response to what they say. So how could I possibly plan for it? 116 people in here, cool. If they're rude and abrasive, then I clarify their lack of professionalism. But if they're just polite and professional, then I'll do everything to make them look good. So, and then, you know, obviously people like us won't be coming here anymore, which is, I'm sure, what they want. Yeah, Regina, I'm in as much of the lobby as they'll allow. This Sheriff's County, they have a locked door, and you push that button, you have to wait. You can't just walk in. And interesting, right? Because most places you can just kind of walk up to the window and be filming the inside of their office. So I'm sure they don't like that. But this place you can't do that. So, is it buffering? I'm not seeing any buffering signs. Yeah, Bill, for sure they've seen the camera rig. I know they don't want to talk to me, but, you know, we don't always get what we want in this world. No buffering, okay, cool. Yeah, I just came from Chipotle. Ooh, it was good too. I've got James in my foreground, right? So you want to pay attention to as many different things as you can. I can see him right now, obviously, if anything squirrely were to happen with him. Swine repellent. You're not going to be a mod, dude. Do I have a body cam on? No, I do have 2 cameras though, and a spare on me, and then James is coming in here with another one, so. Ready? Well, I've already dinged the bell like 5 minutes ago, and they gave me one of these like they were about to come out, but they haven't come out yet. So
Oh, okay, let's go.
we're still waiting on them. It's locked. You can't just walk in.
I'm ready to bounce. Go to the next place.
Yeah, I'll try to get them out here. You don't want it? You think is anybody over there?
I don't. Over there?
No, right there.
I don't see anybody.
They left from their desk?
Yeah.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm just gonna be like, this is what we do. What's been your experience? Have you had anybody come in through like this? Do you have any training that says what these type of people like us will come in here and do? Because we're just basically trying to spread it that all we want is to be able to film public areas and we're out of here. Like we just want to see that, and then also what's your role here in Tucson as far as coordinating and backing up what the regular police do? What exactly is the sheriff's department responsibilities and all that? Here. Super quick, nothing big.
There's someone right there, but yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right, I'll be right behind you if they don't get me out here pretty quick. So they might have just called the boss, and the boss is like, "Everybody, just leave the window and don't be filmed." And
Yeah,
they'll
but
go
that's
away.
that's fine too. No harassment is a good thing.
Yeah, it's not. We don't have to get this on, but they're going to. They left.
Yeah, there was a sheriff's deputy right there.
They abandoned it here on the thing. So again,
I don't want to ask them to come and talk to me.
well, I just don't want them to get away with structuring their business to where they can put a dinger in a locked door and then hide behind it
And not
without being
identify.
confronted by Here comes a lady over out there. Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Mind beginning?
No, man.
Oh,
It says, yeah, you gotta, I guess, ring the bell.
this bell.
Yeah, you gotta ring that bell,
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Oh, there
We
you
just
go.
wanted to do a tour of the area. Yeah.
Here
We
you
just
go.
wanted to do a tour of the area. Are we able to get in the back at all? Check out the area? Okay. Cool. Right on.
Cool.
You don't want to take it? Right. Got you. Yeah, we were just seeing if you guys would want to give us a guided tour through the secured areas or anything. Show us some of what you guys do. Just for educational purposes. We do educational videos on police departments. Okay, cool. What can I ask you guys? What's the bulk of the work that you guys do? Are you guys, is most of it traffic, or is it drug war, or?
We respond to calls for service. People have an emergency, we go to help them out.
Okay. Does Pima County Sheriff's Department participate in civil asset forfeiture at all?
Yeah, contractor.
Okay. Do you know if you do though, or?
It depends, but I mean, like specific. I'm not going to go long into discussion.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, whatever you wanted to offer up. We're just curious. Like I said, we want people to be educated about what their police and their sheriff's departments are doing for them. So you guys do or don't participate in civil asset forfeiture?
Well, like I said, it depends. I'm not going to.
Oh, okay. So sometimes you
I
do.
don't want you like taking my words and spinning them around.
No. I won't cut it. But anyways, yeah, we'll let. She might have some personal business. I don't want to get that on film. So,
Appreciate it.
is there someone I can contact then to talk about that at some point?
Yeah, contact our community resources.
And do you have a phone number for me there?
There you go.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Take care.
Thanks.
I'll be right out.
Oh, go ahead. You can go. You can go ahead.
Do I have to take these pills out of the blister pack?
Yeah, we have
The
that.
blister pack?
Let me see if I have all.
These?
No, I'll take them. You can keep the bottle. I'll take
I
them.
have some others here, so I'll put them in.
Okay. I'll go ahead and take them from you.
Oh, okay.
It's locked.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thanks, you too.
If I could just maybe 30 seconds of your time. So I just do things a little bit differently. I can imagine what the sheriffs and the police have in training or opinion about people that always are all pointing cameras at you guys. Fair enough. Not all of us are coming from the same direction for the same motivations. And really, where I'm coming from is just kind of, I'm not here to answer any questions that are uncomfortable, that you don't want to answer anything. My whole thing is showing people that you can come into places like this and just kind of level like a human, and not make an awkward scenario type of thing. Okay, cool, yeah. And then, I mean, ideally, nobody would be happier if I just made this place look great, made it look good. Like, hey, 5 stars, these guys are doing their stuff, you know what I mean? So the only couple questions I have is like, if you don't mind sharing, if you don't want to share, that's fine. Generally overall, what would your opinion be as far as the outlook of your side of the fence looking out to people like us and what we do overall? And if it's negative, that's fine. Honest would be great.
It's your right to film.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a private place and they don't want you in there, obviously you can't.
Sure.
It's your right, so.
Sure.
It's-
Is there,
Everybody's got a camera, so.
would you, I mean, it's fair enough to say that they probably don't prefer it, right? To have people like paparazzi or whatever pointing cameras at you and whatnot, especially on the street or whatever.
Of course you prefer not to, but that's the age we live in. So
Right. Okay, so,
deal with it.
right. If people were to, let's say new people, because this thing is kind of growing. If people were to come in here and kind of just ask you whatever questions they have, if they have any, or just wander around publicly accessible areas and then leave. From what we can tell so far, nobody really here has a problem with that.
We haven't asked you to leave at all. So
Yeah, right?
I
Okay.
can't speak to the library. If you go over there and do it, I don't know what they're going to say. So.
Oh, we have no interest in doing that, but yeah, kids and stuff and quiet and stuff, that's all fine. All right, and then, gosh, what, this is my last question, thank you. How would you feel about this place or working here if, let's say, your head sheriff, elected official, right, was saying like, yeah, those cameras, force them out of here. And knowing that that's an order to you, you don't have a choice, otherwise it's dereliction of duty. And now there's some confrontation because, they don't even want cameras in here. And then, oh, there's a new rule. See, we posted a new rule. Here's the rule.
I think before they make that type of decision, look at constitutional rights before. But if I have a directive that's told me to do something, I'm going to follow it. But again, like all our directives, we have legal advisors who look over them to make sure it's constitutional.
And according to your opinion, what we've done here is constitutional.
Well, I'm not going to tell you to stop filming. I mean, I hope you don't film our...
Yeah, that's why I'm pointing.
Work to do, so.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get that. But so what we've done, we're about to leave.
Okay.
So what we've done so far isn't unconstitutional in your opinion.
Well, we haven't asked you to, we haven't said to stop filming, so we're not going to get in your way to do it.
So then I guess we haven't broken any constitution thing that you have a problem with.
I have a problem though.
Cool. So if cops did, if you were ordered to come out here, or somebody was ordered to come out here and make us go away, then you could logically infer that they would be kind of taking an unconstitutional act by using force to get people out.
I don't want to make any...
You see what I did there? Because yeah, I mean, most places are just like this, and they're pretty chill guys like you. But we've come across a couple where that's what's happened.
Hunter?
So, all right. Well, that's all I got, man. Thanks. Take care. Be safe. Yep. Cool. Well, I got him to basically.
Hey.
Oh,
I'm sorry. What was that?
Okay, so James on.
Well, I came back into town. I took my son back home and came back.
So they were obviously just like a lot of the places that are chill and let us move our cameras anywhere. This place is really small, right? We're about to go to a bigger place. This is kind of like an easy place. This is the kind of place you want to pick for the first time. If you're new to this, you don't want to go to some massive place with a bunch. They have all kinds of employees, and they'll bring 6 of them out to surround you. You don't want to take that one for your first time. So this is like an example of something that's real easy. And I don't know if you guys caught all that, but basically the confession or admission was that in his opinion, we weren't doing anything unconstitutional. Now, he kind of didn't want to exactly follow me on the words there, but he did to so many degrees. And then when I brought up, oh, well, guess what? Some other sheriffs and cops have tried to pull us out of there. He got a big smile on his face. I wasn't filming him, obviously, but he got a big smile on his face because he knew I was trying to get him to condemn other cops and sheriffs for when they use force to remove our cameras from the building, that they're actually acting in an unconstitutional manner. So it's just kind of funny, like if that guy was on the stand and free to be honest, which will never happen, this is a strict hypothetical, he would agree that everything that went down in Leon Valley was bullshit, unconstitutional stuff that he wouldn't want to enforce on anybody. And further, there's no reason to, because hey, we're in, we're out. I mean, is any harm or foul? Any kind of private, secure information leaked? Nope.
So guys, here's another thing. Don't go with people like James Freeman. You set a game plan. James Freeman's like, I'm just going to lurk in the back. The second we see someone with a badge, James won't show. And Ethics is standing there like going, what the hell is going on? Everything we talked about. Everything. Just went totally out the window.
So, hey, you bring up a good point, James, though, because,
yeah,
man, anyone who watches my videos has known this has happened to me on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
You will run into this if you go out with other people, because it just happens, and there's no threat, no risk here. I don't give a crap. I know James. I trust James.
Right. And the question is, when is somebody going to go off the rails and be like, fuck the police?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And then you're like, oh, boy.
Yeah, right. And so the ability to flex, like sometimes the people you go out with, especially if you don't know them all that well, may do some things that you're not down with, and you got to be kind of prepared to adjust and deal to that, even if it means just getting out altogether. I mean, we ran into that big time at Leon Valley, right? People were doing and saying all kinds of shit that I would never, ever, ever do or say. Right. And yet here we all are being perceived as one whole group. So, here's pro tip number 452. Know the people that you go doing this with.
And hate to sound like a cop sucker here, guys, but I like to be fair. You think that happens with cops too? I mean, I know for a fact, especially after being in Leon Valley in the back, there was 1 or 2 cops back there who were not pleased with what some of the other cops were doing, and they actually stood up to them a little bit.
Oh, a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit.
And, and so, I mean, to be fair, I say that a good cop is a cop who arrests a bad cop. But I'm willing to bet that nobody agrees on everything. I'm willing to bet there's cops.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not willing to bet. I know there are cops out there who are like, oh, man, I wish I didn't have to work with this guy.
Yeah.
Because he makes us all look bad.
Yeah. The vibe that I'm just going to go over this real quick. The vibe that I got from that sheriff right there wasn't one of malice. Some of them are like, you can see they really don't like you in their eyes and they wish they could do something about it. That guy really wasn't one of them. Sure, of course, if he gets ordered to go arrest me or whatever, guess what he's going to do? He's going to be the bad guy. He's going to arrest me. But there really was no... They were way more afraid of dealing with us than obviously we are of them. Like I rang on that bell and they were like, hey, 1 minute. And I was like, okay. I was at their door waiting for 5 minutes. Old lady walks up, goes ding, and they go, and let her right on in. They let her right on in. So, so the point I want to get across from that is they're more, generally speaking, worried about what we're bringing to the table than we need to be worried about what they're bringing to the table. And man, if you really know your stuff, that's the same way in the courtrooms. Maybe a big part of the reason why I'm not nervous at all is A, because I know I can handle myself verbally, but B, I feel prepared. If I know what I need to know, I feel 100% prepared. I only really feel nervous if I go into a situation that with some danger that I don't feel prepared. Street King, what is up, sir?
You will never be prepared for things like Leon Valley. Because there are people out there who will blatantly disobey law and just don't give a flying... And so, it doesn't do any good to go in scared, but I'm sorry, if you think that we're always safe because we know what we're doing, there are psychotic people out there. These guys are...
Yeah.
And again, not all of them. Look, the guys you dealt with just now are just normal human beings.
Yep.
The guys in Leon Valley are not normal humans.
Yep.
You're going to get those.
Cool. So yeah, that's what's going on. Oops, sorry about that. Switch the camera angle back again. So tell you what, y'all, I'm going to we're gonna end this stream here. There's 124 people on it, but I'm gonna end it because I have my laptop with me. I can make a mobile hotspot, get on my desktop, change some settings with Streamlabs while we move to the next location.
You have your laptop?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Oh wait. Oh, you're right, I didn't bring it. I took it out of the truck last car and did it. Okay, that's okay, because the hotspot's so slow, it would take a while anyway. I'm not all super hardcore about getting the text-to-speech and all that right this second anyway, so it's all good. I'll just keep it going live then. And do you know where we're going to next?
I do. We are 14 minutes away. 14
minutes away. We're headed to our next location. If there are any questions about any of that, I mean, a lot of you are not newbies, you know. So maybe you don't have a lot of questions, but look at that awesome cactus, man. They're huge. I haven't been to this far south in the continent, and so I'm seeing a bunch of like 20 feet tall cactus and stuff. What else?
Let me say something too, if I could.
Yep, go ahead.
Whoops. And I just blocked this guy from turning. I think that every single auditor that I've worked with and every single cop watcher that I've worked with has their different style. And I've told people before, my favorite way to audit is by myself, but with other individuals there in case something bad happens. But you have a style that's different than mine. I have a style that's different than yours. Everybody everybody loves News Now Houston, right? And I love going auditing with News Now Houston, but with anybody I go with, I kind of prefer to just be there together but separate so that we can do our own thing our own way, and we have the safety of the numbers that we're there to back each other up. But I'd rather come to the back and do what I'm doing while Ethics goes to the front and does what he's doing. And, you know, should one of us get into trouble, somebody's there to call. But
yeah, ideally you are able to keep each other in view or communication somehow, but I mean, this place isn't the most crazy aggressive place. We are going to go to a police station that is known for their aggressive police. So you're going to see that side of the spectrum too. And in that type of scenario, we'll kind of feel it out first within view, and then if it looks okay, you know, go do our own thing or whatever. Obviously, we've prepared for if the worst should happen, somebody gets yanked for no reason whatsoever, you know, we're not stranded, we're not stuck or nothing like that.
Which is the only way an auditor can get arrested if all they're doing is filming in a public space and asking questions. The only way you can get arrested is for no lawful or legal reason.
Yep. So, and then when we get there, let's look at this next one on the, we'll spend like a minute looking it up on Google Earth, getting again, idea for what is where, how to orient yourself so it's not all new.
Other thing is I lived in Tucson for 20 years. I know this place pretty much. I mean, I haven't been here for a while, but I know it like the back of my hand. The only thing is some of the roads are wider now.
Oh, yeah. The reason why I film down and not the road, Mark, is because
So you don't know where we are?
this stream has the attention of federal people. Yeah, I don't want them knowing exactly where we're going. If that makes it boring. Oh well. But yeah, let's see. What's up? What's up?
Looks like we got a monsoon storm coming in.
Yep.
I just called my lawyer and he's like, please tell me you're still in Arizona. I was like, well, I left, but I came back because we got court tomorrow.
Oh. What time? Do you want to say?
It's at 1:30.
Okay.
And probably little to nothing is going to happen tomorrow.
Good grief.
I mean, just nothing.
That's what he said. Dang. But they're going to force you to be here and all the expense and time inconvenience.
You know, I'm thinking that very likely from here on out, a lot of the hearings I may be able to do via teleconference. The reason they want you to come out is when they're, especially a bond revocation.
Yeah.
Their goal is to have you come out to take you to jail. So no, they're not going to do it via video conference.
Gotcha.
So you've got to be there physically so they can handcuff you and put you in the cage.
Yeah.
So going forward from here on out after today, assuming they release me, because there's never, ever, ever a guarantee. I think my chances are a lot better today, but
Yeah.
I could have a 1 in 10 chance of walking free last week and have like a 9 in 10 chance walking free today and end up getting locked up today.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to assume that I'm safe from the cage.
That's for sure.
But from here on out, I think after today, as long as they let me go free, or tomorrow, as long as they let me go free, I should be able to do a lot of this via teleconference.
Cool.
Which will be good for them because that will minimize the damages that are being done to me when the lawsuit comes for them.
Yep. Mark Miller also... you meant inside the office. Yeah, sorry, I should have been able to pick that up, Mark Miller. Yeah, the reason why I was pointing the camera at the floor in the office is because, well, a couple of reasons. A, James had just put it on him. And so, for the sake of variety and to get experience as to any kind of differences in how they react, I just pointed at the floor. B, there wasn't really a huge need for me to do that at that point. And C, it was a really tiny counter. Like, there really wasn't a place for me to set this thing down and then just have it on him.
He was a lot more open with you with the camera not pointed at his face.
Right. See, and that's the thing, like, psychologically, I was trying to get a confession from him, right? This cop shop is small. They allowed us to go in. They didn't harass us at all. And if anything, they ran from us. That's the kind of reaction we want all the time. Yeah. We want to just film public spaces, and if they want to run from us, that's ideal. Okay, so I just wanted to get from him, why? Oh, because you weren't doing anything unconstitutional. And he even said, yeah, we don't prefer that there are people who put cameras on us like this or in the street, but hey, it's the times that it is. It's 2018, and it just is what it is. And so once he, admitted, no, we're not doing anything wrong, we're not asking you to leave, run out of here, nothing, then I go, oh, okay, what would you say about cops who did do that? Would you say that they're doing something unconstitutional? And that's, of course, when he got a big old smile, because he knows I'm, not really super devious trying to trap him, but I'm trying to get him to say
it's an obvious leading question,
other cops,
right?
Or yeah, well, and that's kind of what the Socratic method is, right? So all I did was think in my head, hey, what's going on in this situation? All right, well, they're running from us. Okay, so what can I get out of it? Well, if they're doing the right thing, then let's get a confession that they're doing the right thing, and according to their rules, why? Well, according to them, it's because they're obeying this thing called the Constitution. Cool. All right, well, last question. What's your opinion about cops who do the opposite of what you're saying is the right thing to do right now? And that's just straight Socratics hitting my brain. It's just clarifying the nature of their job, what they will and won't do. After all, they have guns on their hips. I mean, never to be forgotten.
I really wanted to know about civil asset forfeiture because obviously Pima County Sheriff's Department participates in it. He said, I'm not going to, he says it depends.
Yeah.
So it depends. I mean, civil asset forfeiture is wrong. If you guys don't know what it is, please go look it up. It is wrong. Anyone, any human being can admit that it's wrong. That is the one thing that even cop lovers can look at and go, holy crap, they can take your stuff without even any suspicion of a crime and just take it and keep it and sell it and use that money to buy margarita machines. That was actually a confession in court, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we consider it like pennies from heaven. But it's not pennies. It's millions from heaven.
Yeah, right.
And it's people's stuff who aren't even suspected of a crime. So, anyways, I was hoping that he was just going to say no, and I was going to move on and walk away and say, cool,
Well,
thanks,
he
bye.
can't. See, what you did was you asked him what I like to call a catch-22 question, which means he is kind of in a hard spot screwed if he answers yes and if he answers no,
Well, I don't
which
see
is
that.
why he answers, I don't know, sometimes you'll have to talk to somebody else. Well, if he answers yes, we do asset forfeiture. Then he's going to think, oh, great, here come a bunch of other clarifying questions about how this is theft and under what conditions do you do it, and he
Right.
knows he's going to look like a thief, which is what they actually are.
Right.
If he says no, he's lying because they do it.
Not all
Therefore,
departments do it. Not
a
all
sheriff?
Okay.
I bet if you want to evict somebody, you got to go to the sheriff's office.
Yeah, but evictions are civil asset forfeiture is when you take someone's stuff without even the suspicion of a crime.
Of course, I know what civil asset forfeiture is, but what if somebody leaves all their stuff from an eviction? They just can't get it stored or any of that.
No, that's not civil asset forfeiture.
Well,
though.
at that point in time, it's not, but it'll be taken to a storage unit, and if they don't pay for it, it'll be civil asset forfeiture.
But that's civil. That would be. You're saying like somebody moves out of a rental place or something?
No, an eviction. That's a civil matter.
Okay.
And so it won't be civil asset forfeiture as if they pull over your car, tow it, and then take it to the impound lot. You can't pay to get it out, and then they sell it a couple months later at an auction. That's clearly asset forfeiture. Going into a drug war and raiding someone's home and then stealing all their stuff that's associated with the quote-unquote drugs, that is civil asset forfeiture.
No, that's not even civil asset forfeiture.
Yes, it is.
Because the drug war, no, because on their rules it says that the drug war or drugs are illegal. So if you have drugs, they can take your stuff. Civil asset forfeiture is when they pull you over on the freeway and you're on a road trip and you got $500 in cash because you buy your stuff on your road trip with cash. You have nothing illegal on you whatsoever. They pulled you over because you failed to use your turn signal, and they take your cash because cash can be used to buy drugs. Not because they found drugs on you.
So
this is what civil asset forfeiture is.
So, well, that's one form. You're saying they'll just take your cash for no reason whatsoever?
That's exactly right, because they'll say cash could be used to buy drugs. Go and look it up. It is so out of control.
I will. I'll look it up. But right now, I'm going to agree to disagree.
Yeah. That's
so
exactly what it is.
Here's what I call civil asset forfeiture. Let's say you've got coke in your Corvette, or you've got coke in a box truck you're driving down the freeway, and they stop, and over the course of the arrest, they search, they find, and now they've got reason to arrest and all this, that, and the other. Because assets are tied to the use of illegal drugs and quote-unquote crimes, according to them, they, according to their rules and judges, have the ability to take the boat. If the coke's in the boat, it's now their boat.
Yeah.
If the coke's in the car, if it's enough coke, they can take your car.
But that's criminal
and you may not,
asset forfeiture. Because it's based on, there is some type of crime somewhere.
Criminal
and sure
asset
they
forfeiture.
stretch it. They say, oh, you had coke in the boat, so we're taking the boat. It was hooked to a truck, so we're taking the truck. But there was at least a crime somewhere.
Okay, but the crime is not yet prosecuted. It's not yet even filed.
Right.
There has been no determination of innocence or guilty.
Right.
And yet, just because they can, they'll confiscate it.
Right.
Just like they confiscated this very vehicle and put it in an impound lot. Just that they confiscated Mexican Padilla's vehicle and put it in an impound lot. The difference between those two situations is you had the money to get it out. He didn't. They sold his car several months later at auction.
Yeah.
So even though he was charged with a crime, do they call that criminal asset forfeiture?
Yes, that's exactly. And I'm telling you, civil asset forfeiture means there wasn't even a crime. And it's even worse than your criminal forfeiture, because if they take your boat because you had coke in it and you get acquitted of the crime, you get your boat back. When it's civil asset forfeiture and they take your boat because you had $500 in cash in it because you keep cash on you, there's no way to beat, there's no charge to beat to get your boat back. And so it's extremely difficult to get your stuff back on civil asset forfeiture.
Oh, we must be here. I see lots of cop cars.
So I'm telling you, it is literally stealing your stuff without even the suspicion of a crime.
That does happen sometimes. Like,
it happens a lot.
Well, of course it happens a lot. But what I mean is, out of all the types of asset forfeiture that happens sometimes, like a guy will be trucking down the road and he's the driver and there's coke in it and he says, I didn't know that was in there. And let's say he's got a lot of cash. They can say, hey, we won't charge you with any of this, but you have to let us take the coke and the cash.
Still, there's
and then
a
you
crime
won't have
involved. There's a
But
crime.
he won't be charged with one, and yet they yank it all, right? So when you go up to the county council meetings and they do their little, hey, our budget shit, they have all the categories for civil asset forfeiture. How much is it? How much of it goes to pay for this for the police department? And they do this by the year. So if you want to know the exact penny of your local police department, what they're asset forfeiting, then you can go there and find it out right down to the penny. But we'll look it up, because James, I could be totally wrong. We'll look it up 100% tonight and get 100% on it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, 100%, you are definitely wrong. I'll give you a perfect example of when this.
But there's more than one type of asset forfeiture.
There is, and
so we could be talking about different. The instances that we've both given happen and are both called asset forfeiture.
Right. Yes. Okay. Yes. So in this instance, though, it means there was no crime whatsoever involved, or even the suspicion of a crime. I'll give you an example of one specifically that happened. A guy bid on a classic car, $25,000. He was going to pick it up in person. He was driving with cash, $25,000. Now, a lot of people would say that is suspicious. Why are you carrying $25,000 in cash? Okay, great.
Because you want to.
But he's got this record of the auction that he was on and the car that he's going to purchase. It's real. But they took his $25,000 because they said, well, you could use cash to buy drugs, hookers, child prostitutes.
I see what you're saying.
And so, no, there is no suspicion that is
that person will get his money back.
No, that's the problem. They can't get their damn money back. It took him years.
We're going to look this up tonight, because I think you're wrong. But I might be wrong, and I'll be the first person to admit it. Oh, wait. What's our game plan here? What are you doing? And this time, what are you doing?
I'm going to go do my audit, man.
Oh, cool. Cool.
I'm going to go do my audit. We can separate. We can do whatever, but I'm going to do my audit.
I'm just gonna keep it probably within the inner. Are you gonna, if I want to look for you or try and find you, I can't really just call you on the phone, right?
Yeah, I got my phone on me and I'm not using it.
No, I'd have to end the stream.
Oh, okay.
So where do you think?
Right,
around the building? Are you gonna be wandering around the building or inside more? Or?
I'll probably be outside first, and then before I go inside, I'll contact you and let you know I'm going inside.
Cool.
Or if you can't find me, then just go.
Okay.
So that's the call if we can't find each
other.
Gotcha. Here, try it out. See if you can do it.
I can't.
I can't. So if you hear that, then just come to the sound of the...
That'll be like our cop watcher mating call.
Yeah.
How about that? Okay, cool.
That means I'm in trouble. Help.
Okay.
Or I can't find you.
Cool.
You sure you don't want to try it?
I'm positive.
Okay.
This is a library. Is it? Hey.
Yeah.
Is it over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We gotta go for a walk.
Okay. And by that you mean what? It's here?
I don't know. You might be able to get through here, but I don't know if I want to walk through the back lot. I'm gonna walk around the perimeter.
All right. Cool. I don't see any signs that say don't come in here. I'm definitely watching for them. There is an armored SWAT vehicle and a command center and an RV. That's cool. See that sign right there says do not enter, so I'm not going in there. Yeah. There's a gate here, all that good stuff. What that is, like a civic building or something. Forensics, crime scene, vehicle. Oh, here we go. Woo! See what I mean? Alright, so this is A game time right here. This is not playing around right here. come into a new place, the first thing I do is establish some normalcy. Right? Just be seen doing normal, relatively stuff. No big deal. Administrative offices, can't go in there. That's bathroom, now I'm not gonna go smell it. That can be kind of, and they're not all out to get you. And you know, if they don't have the time, that's fine.
Okay.
That just wants to put cameras in publicly accessible areas only. Threatening you with a gun on their hip, threatening you with arrest, because you just want to come in, this is taxpayer paid, and then we leave. And then we're out of here.
But wouldn't you know by
Now, by force if necessary, or violent or any of that. So I just want to give somebody the opportunity, because I'm one of those not too common people who will come in here and just be totally civil and professional. Say, hey, if they want to, cool. If they don't, cool. But I really want to give them an opportunity to look good. Because I'm just going to say, hey, what do you think about people who want to film the police on the street? How do you feel about people who just stand way back and film you while you do your job and don't interfere? Nothing like that. Because I'm tired of seeing people come in here and there's always aggression and confrontation and rudeness. It makes it look bad for everybody, including me. And I don't want that. But that, if they're too busy...
Well, I'll just see.
Okay. I'll just be out here chilling.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I help you? Yes.
Sonia Hudson filed an accident report or something like that for me on Monday at North because my car got keyed. And I didn't really my number. Is there any way you could look that up?
You can take that. Clipboard's here and pens are up on the counter.
Okay,
Bring
I
it
just
back.
need to send it to insurance.
It's $5.
Okay.
Sorry. Nope, it's not, Jeannie.
Okay.
You want me to call you when it's ready?
Yeah. I'm going to be up at North tomorrow and Monday, so you can always call me up there. I'm going to be there 11 to 5 both days.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Now, is that one the ones last week? Last night, they wanted to sign the outside
I'm just wanting to disturb these people.
really.
Not really.
Well, on the
Okay.
up front.
Cool, cool, cool. Oh gosh, well, you know, it's 2018, a lot of people, especially on the street, will put cameras on cops, anytime there's any kind of stuff. Do you mind if I film you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, sweet. Here we go. All right, and so some of us are trying to improve the interaction here to make it safer for everybody.
Okay.
so that, because we think, you know, maybe some police have negative interactions with people who are doing this, and maybe they're just trying to what's called cop bait or get attention or, you know, whatever weird reasons like that.
Yeah.
And so they kind of, which is totally natural for humans to do, they have a tendency to lump everybody kind of in that same category, right?
Okay.
And so we're kind of trying to just show people that you can come do this if you want, and do it in a way that doesn't lead to raised voices and interrupting and rudeness, and then people going to jail and stuff like that, in essence, right? So I guess the question is, does this department have any problem with people bringing cameras to only the publicly accessible areas?
We do not have problems with people bringing cameras.
Okay.
But on the same, you know, going along with that thread, obviously law enforcement officers and government entities have been targeted at times. So that's not to say we won't go out and try to make contact, just like I am with you.
Sure.
But, you know, as long as you're not violating any laws, you have the right to walk away, just like we have the right to come up and ask you why you're filming. So I think, you know, for us, we've had people film many times here.
Oh, you have? Okay.
And sometimes, unfortunately, there are people that do try to figure out, you know, what kind of cars are cops driving, because, like, even recently we've had vehicles broken into, specifically
on the property?
No. Like, people, you know, law enforcement officers' vehicles broken into, either their personal vehicle or their work vehicle.
At their home?
Not marked at their homes. Or they'll follow them and maybe to the gym because they think that there's something in there that they want to get. So
do you think they
there's
link?
a flip side to that as well.
Understood. Now, I just don't. Are they linking? Because as we all know, damage to vehicles happens anywhere, happens at all places, at all houses. I mean, do you think sometimes this randomly happens to, or is it a known cop vehicle that these things are happening to? And do they link that to people who are taking pictures here?
We have not had it happen to us personally. We get the intel bulletins about it happening to other law enforcement agencies locally. So without knowing the specifics of it, I couldn't tell you, you know, what the exact circumstances were. And since we haven't had it happen to us individually, you know, it's not something I could tell you, yeah, definitively it was because people were filming. My point is that you are welcome to film. It is a public building. But just know that is probably going to prompt at least some inquiries about why you're filming. So
I'm glad you bring that up.
As long as there's a two-way communication like we are having now.
I'm glad you bring that up. Here's what I'd like to ask a lot of cops, and I just don't have the opportunity. Maybe you can give me some input on this. Hey, what's up, James? He's a buddy of mine, too. He's just harmless, you know, like me. Okay, so if a cop is asking, why are you filming? There could be a number of different motivations that cause that question to come out. Okay? One of those motivations is something like, these people are against us, and they are kind of collecting information or evidence, license plates off the cars that come here and whatnot, just how it's laid out, maybe security weaknesses or vulnerabilities. Now, I used to be into intel as an Air Force officer, so I'm super well familiar and trained as far as intel and gathering and collections.
You understand that side of it,
intimately. And the reason why I ask this question is because, you know, when they ask you that, they don't say, this is why I'm asking you that. And of course, we get cops from all over the country asking us this. And so my question, is when they go, why are you filming? Now, ultimately, we're not under an obligation to A, give them an answer, or B, give them a truthful answer, but at the same time, we're not here because we're terrorists who want to do violence.
And that's the point, is that normally it's not going to be like you or your friend that's walking around that are obvious. It really would be more discreet and covert if there was truly some kind of ill intent against, you know, the officers or the agency. But on the same side, criminals aren't always the brightest. Sometimes that's why they're criminals, right? So maybe, you know, they just decided they were going to be like you, and they were going to try to act like they were.
You got to be open to everything.
Yeah, and that's the issue in our line of work is we see it all, We see every motivation. We see every kind of,
the spectrum,
exactly,
one to the other.
Exactly. So, and if there is one thing that I've learned in 20 years of this line of work is don't ever expect the norm. Always expect that there's going to be some kind of variance with what you would normally think. So that's our job. Is we go out and we, try to ID people if we need to, if they're, acting suspicious. So
no, that's fair. I think that's fair enough. My concern, I guess, from that is that while it sounds like you're kind of prepared for the worst but hope for the best.
Always.
Okay.
Right, with everything.
Right. So in preparing for the worst, many police, and I think this is human, I'm not like so much blaming them, that preparation for the worst, especially if there's many of us around or whatnot, can lead to a sense of unease, or maybe even, I don't want to say like fear, like they're fearful, but you know what I mean, nervous, apprehensive, what's going on? Oh, by the way, I'm going to be responsible if I don't handle this situation correctly from my superiors, everything's being filmed, you know what I mean? And that fear quite often, as it does with us humans, can turn to anger, like that. And so
I think it's a matter of perspective too, right?
The individual officer's perspective.
And I mean, I think people in general have their own perspective of where they come from. And because law enforcement officers often have a perspective of, day in and day out dealing with certain kinds of things, we're just human beings, and we're all going to be guilty of having a certain kind of perspective depending on what your experiences are and where you come from.
Right.
So I don't know if you can ever take the human element out of it, which I feel like is kind of what is expected of law enforcement officers. Let's take the human element out, and we can't ever really do that. It would be impossible.
Yeah, I could see that too. I guess the point I want to make could be illustrated by this example. Like, I haven't really walked around this whole property, and this is the first time I've ever been here, so I'm not too familiar. I guess you have some vehicles over here, and there's an area that's fenced in that says don't come over here, whatever.
Yeah.
So, and there's a perimeter to it. So, like, let's say I had never approached in here and anything, and nobody's ever seen me before, and I walk up, and I start pointing this thing. I'm standing on a public sidewalk. I'm still over the public sidewalk, but I pointed over the fence, and I'm just doing this. Now, this is a question for anybody who might be watching later or now. What could the average response be that they should expect?
I would expect for an officer to come out and talk to you. And I've dealt with enough people to know that you're probably very well aware of what your rights are. And we try to make sure that we teach our officers what people's rights are. And all we can do is come up and talk to you and have consensual contact. So as long as you're not acting disorderly, we'll just let you do your thing.
How do you all, generally speaking, define disorderly here? This department.
Well, now we're getting into.
So is it too vague?
It really is.
Are there many specific examples you could give me to narrow it down? So, like I'm filming over the fence, disorderly. Maybe something that might be common would be something like.
Yeah, filming over. So that's, and I can't imagine that that's your intent, right? You're not trying to get officers hurt. So I'm sure you can see why that's problematic. But anywhere the public can be, you're welcome to be and do your thing.
Okay, let me offer you just another perspective. So as you said, people that generally do this, whatever this is, are aware of their rights. Okay, so I just want to, toss this out there to get your input and feedback on it. Some of us take a look at what happens in the interaction between civilians and police overall, over time. And they look at the, factual evidence of what happens and what doesn't, and they go, we aren't seeing that, certainly not all of them, but when we look back at the evidence, not even most of these quote-unquote rights, let's make it easy, right out of the Bill of Rights, like the first 10, a lot of stuff to do with crimes and criminal defendant protections and whatnot. Ooh, it's going to get fun around here.
I'm going to move the car to covered parking.
Oh, cool, okay.
Just so you know where it's at.
Okay, so to make it short, the conclusion that they come to is that, I don't believe in rights. I don't believe that they actually exist. Now, of course, it's a concept. I'm not saying it's not thin air, or it's not a physical thing, therefore it doesn't exist. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's not respected. Now, maybe you respect them. Maybe there are people who respect them. Maybe this agency as a whole respects them. But overall, the mean average is that they're not respected. This is the third camera I've owned in the last 2 months because I'm doing everything I'm doing here, and they just yank it, and I can't get it back. I still haven't got it back. You know, and so when it comes to like search and seizure, I was arrested. They told me I'd have 3 charges, and then when I got to the magistrate, it was 1 charge, and he dismissed it because there was no basis for it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, a female guard sexually assaulted me. I had to file a complaint about that. So I'm not pointing at, a victim me. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm using it as an example to show that there are many. That's why that's why this is growing and why we're here. There are many instances where the rights don't exist. So I understand what you're saying, and I totally speak the language. I'm familiar with it. But I personally, and I think this is growing too, we don't even think rights exist. We just think it's like an illusion word by people way more powerful than you or I to sell this idea that there's serving and protecting going on and sort of a thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're familiar with people not being too excited with asset forfeiture that they don't agree with charges and arrests being made that they don't agree with the prosecution of like nonviolent victimless crimes that they don't agree with. And so I don't know what. Sorry for the long rant, but what's your input on? Because that's kind of outside the box, right?
Well, you kind of threw out a lot of
I know.
different kinds of situations there.
I know I did.
I guess to go back to what you said is, what are my thoughts? Well, I'm an optimist, so I'm going to hope that by and large the rights that I do hold those dear. I do hold them to be something that's kind of the fabric and the foundation of our civilized society. I'm just always going to strive to make sure that I protect those for myself and for other people, and that's what we strive for here. So, I mean,
I think that's what most of them strive for. I think that's a fair statement.
But again, you're still talking about human beings.
Flawed
are always
human beings.
Flawed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then I think everybody agrees with that. But when the flaws come out, and they do happen, as you say, when we try to what everybody refers to as a redress of grievance over whatever happens because of the result of the flaw, the chance of that happening are kind of
sometimes
not.
The justice system gets it right, and sometimes they get it wrong.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're still dealing with flawed.
Yeah, and a system. Quick example of exactly what you're pointing at. Super quick, thank you. The gentleman right there that I'm here with, right? He's in a federal courthouse tomorrow because he was doing this exact thing on a public sidewalk outside of a military base, and not moving forward and not talking.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that they was filming the base, and they called the cops. Anyway, come to find out, he gets arrested for it. Just what I'm doing right now. It would be like if you put me in cuffs right now, like that'd be kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to him. Anyway, long story short, like I said, they charged him with, if you film from a public space over the gate of the Air Force Base, there could be classified material displayed, and therefore it's a crime for pointing your camera there because there could be classified material displayed. And that's it. And that's the only thing that they're... So here he is, 15 grand deep into a lawyer. He lives in Texas. He's out here for the 3rd time now. So I'm not saying we take that and pin it to here and everywhere like here, but that's what's going on. And so, just to let you know, and I hope this that's what I'm doing this, is so the idea just kind of spreads out. We run into a couple bad apples, and so we have to test all the apples. If you're a good apple and you don't mind us taking the cameras to publicly accessible spaces, we're out of here. And it's likely less people will come back in the future, which everybody kind of wants.
Yeah. But, I have to tell you, in this day and age, everybody's got a cell phone. I mean, you could just as easily be sitting here pretending you're on your phone and filming. So...
Oh, yeah, or you could have secret cameras.
Yeah.
They're so small now.
And I think for us, too, in law enforcement, it is important that we evolve to realize we're, not only do we all have our own cameras, except I don't have one on me, so I'm at a disadvantage because I'm not filming you. But all of our officers have body cameras. They turn them on.
They do here. Okay.
Yeah. Turn them on within reason. There's going to be times emergencies happen, and that's not going to be first and foremost in your mind, right? Somebody's dying in front of you. You're not going to say, "Oh, let me turn on my camera."
Right.
But by and large, they are utilized in all the interactions we have with the public. So I think we're pretty fortunate in that we're progressive and that we get. This is the day and age we live in, and we just have to come to terms with it. So,
would it be agreeable with you if the information that the police have about civilians, civilians have about individual members of the police. Just the identical information, not any more.
Oh, are you talking about, here's the only issue I see with that is, I mean, at least there's some kind of vetting system. While it's not perfect, there is a system to vet people that become police officers. And there are regulations in place specific to us about the handling of information of the public that wouldn't necessarily apply to the public. So, yeah, I mean, there is a lot of information the public is able to get, but they're not able to get, you know, like their home address and telephone numbers. But honestly, I think that, you know, the public should, I don't even like a lot of the public information that you got, that's on you, you know, like the county assessor's website. I don't love that the public has all their information out there either, because we see the ramifications from the criminals, what they do with that information.
Yeah, gosh, the more information's out there, if someone just gets crazy. Yeah.
So what do we do with that, you know?
Well, gosh, my suggestion is we stop collecting everybody's, I mean, perfect example. If I drive around here without a license, well, I get entered into an escalating threat of, uh-oh. So you have to have a license. Well, on that, of course, is name, date of birth, address. They always know where you sleep. They can come get you anytime they want. We don't, you know, we don't have any of that information whatsoever. I mean, gosh, we don't even get the guy's first name. And quite often, if we say, "Hey, what's your name, officer so and so?" we'll get an officer and a last name, but no first name.
Yeah.
And according to them, that's all we get or all we need.
Well, and badge number, right?
Oh, badge number 2,
so
correct.
That's
You're correct.
the unique identifying.
You're correct. But what they have on us versus what we have on them, you know, because nobody's. I mean, I'm sure there's a small minority that are just, I'm going to get this guy. But most of us just want to create an environment of mutual accountability. Yeah, Arya, sorry. Mutual accountability.
Thank you.
Oh, you know him? He knows you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man. Just a mutual accountability. You know, I know that's kind of, I don't expect you to really, it's not really what the system does. I get it.
Right. And,
Realist.
They just locked me out of court. So.
Oh, there's a courthouse, municipal courthouse over there?
Yeah, people got all kinds of triggered up there. But I started running this way, though, because the storm's about to come. I'm like, dude, I gotta get inside.
Oh, yeah. Cool. I'm sorry.
I'm Carmen.
Carmen.
I'm James.
A first name. How rare.
Yeah.
Carmen, thank you. How friendly and human of you, Carmen.
Okay.
We don't get that very often.
I've been watching, and you're very friendly and human. So
Yeah.
a lot of people are just a-holes to us. So that's my name. I've been watching it, so.
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, that's why I came up this way. I've got more to do, but.
So I was with my motorcycle, and it was, I got court on coming up, so.
Oh, yeah.
Switching into a car, a little safer out there.
It's been awesome watching it come over this mountain for the last 20 minutes or so.
Good times in the desert.
What?
Sorry.
Not anytime soon.
Sorry. So, you know,
I'll tell him you said it. All right.
that's good.
All right, guys, hey, be safe.
Yeah, you too. Thanks. Thanks for your time, you know. That's all we really want to do is just, we appreciate your time. We know you're busy and got things to do and everything. You spend some time with us. Appreciate it.
I am not the
No.
chief.
It's Sergeant, right?
I am, yes.
Sergeant
I'm our
Carmen.
Public information officer.
Oh, there you go. This is especially trained.
I try to avoid people.
No, not specially trained at all.
To deal with the public?
I deal with the public. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I do.
See, the thing is, I try to avoid people like you because I feel like you've been trained to deal with public. That's good.
Trained.
That's good.
I've always
But I
been.
want.
You're
I want them
selected.
all
No.
Trained.
Here's what the thing is. I am a talker. Like, that's my thing. I don't mind talking to people. That doesn't mean that I am not ready to act if I need to act.
Right. If you need to.
Yes, exactly.
Which most of the time you can talk. I mean.
You know, and you can, but here's one misconception I think that's important to know is there are going to be examples when you can't talk.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's going to be times people are strung up on drugs.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
times people that are just, for whatever reason their disposition is, you can't talk to them.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, just know
I've
there
been
are
there
those
to.
examples.
Yeah,
as
it's just
well.
that it shouldn't be our violence shouldn't be our first resort. It's a last one, very, 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 very last one. Like I tried this, I tried this, I tried that, I tried everything.
Yeah, but no, do I have any training in talking to the public? I mean, I think I just like to talk to people, so I don't.
It's good.
They trust you. They trust you. You must put out a good positive image.
No.
Not everybody can do. They're not going to let anybody just do what you do.
No, the receptionist comes to me all the time, and she always has me
Go ahead. That's
dealing
okay.
with the public when they come in and ask like questions that she doesn't know the answer to. So I do come out pretty frequently, and
I like to ask the police officers questions.
Yeah, well, I'm a police officer.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
But the ones in uniform.
Yeah, and the ones who aren't used to being asked questions.
Yeah.
The ones who are used to just obeying all orders without thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I like to
I
talk
run into
to.
that sometimes. Yeah. All right.
He's nice,
Yep.
I'm not.
Oh well.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's a bunch of different approaches out there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Have you been in here already?
yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
in there, huh?
So.
It's fingerprinting day.
Oh. Okay. So lastly, you know, the courthouse lobby in the main area is publicly accessible. Because see,